Hey everybody out there, and before I get to today's video, I just want to say a couple things. Number one, if you guys have been wondering where my deck profiles have been, I am currently moving. Everything that I packed up Yu-Gi-Oh! Wise, I have not gotten yet, and I haven't unpacked it. Thus, I cannot do deck profiles, thus I can't do deck building. So I do apologize, but hopefully in the near future, we can unpack it and then get back to doing deck profiles. But the reason I want to do this deck profile today for you guys is I just wanted to do it. No, this channel is not going to become a Duel Links channel. No, it's not going to become a speed duel channel. This is just something I want to do for fun. Okay? And that's why, because I love Blue Eyes White Dragon and I want to do a deck profile on it. So let's get into the deck profile. I pretty much built this. I know there's people that have done deck profiles of this deck, but this is what I've been playing with, and just from testing against other players and just playing in general, this is what I find works best for me. I went into deck building this as pretty much a person that's played Yu-Gi-Oh! For a long time, and as a deck builder and a person that plays competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! So, yeah. So I call this the Dragon Caller deck. This is pretty much revolves around the ability of Kaiba using Dragon Call to add Flute of Summoning Dragon or Lord of D, which is awesome. Love this card. Wish this was actually a legit card in Yu-Gi-Oh! Where you could search a Lord, a D, or a King of D and do things. But definitely we're using the ability Dragon Caller in this. This is one of the most competitive speed duel decks I would say out there at the moment. Some of the other ones that I'm seeing being played a lot are Amazon as Harpies for the Draw 2 using Mai's ability. But Dragon Caller is one of the more, quote-unquote, I would say, ones that I'm seeing a lot of. So let us get into the deck profile right now. So first off, we run our standard 3 Blue Eyes White Dragon. I hope eventually we get a different artwork, even though I love this artwork, but we definitely run 3 Blue Eyes White Dragon. On top of that, I do one Tyrant Dragon. Now, the ability and the nice thing about this deck is 3,000 and 2,900 attack monsters in speed duels right now are pretty hard to get over. And I'm being very honest about that. Yes, you have traps, yes, you have spells, but a 25 defensive monster and a 3,000 attack monster are really hard to get over. And especially in the infancy of speed duels, it's very hard to get over. And I find that a lot of players have trouble getting over them. So when you get these guys out on the field, they're usually going to stay on the field. And you also have to think in the mentality is, if you use Lord of D and you bring out 2 Blue Eyes White Dragons, and you push for that, say their monster is 2,000 attack, okay? Well, you're doing 4,000 damage right there. So say they have a monster that's 2,000 attack, okay? And then you attack with 1 Blue Eyes, went over their 2,000 monster, that's 1,000 damage. You attack with the other, that's 3,000 damage. That is game right there because of 4,000 damage, because you use 4,000 life points. So overall, you can OTK your opponent with this deck fairly quickly in certain situations. Next, we run the card that's a searcher and a very good card, and that is Blue Eyes Dragon Summoner. Now, Blue Eyes Dragon Summoner is a card that in Duel Links and even in real life, way back in the day, back before we got all the Blue Eyes support that was good, we used Blue Eyes Summoner to search out the Blue Eyes White Dragons. Now, Blue Eyes Summoner is kind of, we're going to be using, if you guys are familiar with the old Maiden combos using Wonder Wand, it's going to kind of focus the same way. So what you can do is, you can go normal summon Blue Eyes Summoner, Wonder Wand, make this a 2,000 attacker, which is pretty big in itself. You can pop the Wonder Wand, alright, so you pop Wonder Wand, you pop Blue Eyes Summoner, and you're going to go Chain Link 1, you're going to search Blue Eyes, Chain Link 2, resolve Wonder Wand, and then you get to draw 2 additional cards. So with the Wonder Wand combo, you get a Blue Eyes in hand for your Lord of D combos, and you get to draw 2 cards on top of that. So overall, really good combo play. I love it, and I'm definitely a fan of it. And the good thing is, and I'll mention this as well, if you're trying to build a Dark Magician or a Red Eyes variation of speed duels, you would definitely want this card, because this card can help search out, I believe, Red Eyes and Dark Magician. So, yes. Because it can search out dragons, warriors, and spellcasters that are normal. So, Dark Magician and Red Eyes you can definitely search out with this. And definitely the Wonder Wand combo is amazing. And you also have other benefits with Wonder Wand, which we'll talk about here in a second. So, Lord of D, some people run it as a 3 of, but I like it as a 2 of, because technically you can search these combo pieces out fairly easily. And you don't want to get too many in your hand to get too cloggy, and to add inconsistencies to the deck. So I like the ratio of 2 and 2 for that reason, because if I draw this, I can search this. If I draw this, I can search this. Less inconsistencies, and you already have consistency. So, 2 Lord of D, he's your main playmaker of the deck, quote unquote, for what he can do. The also benefit is that technically you could run 3 Wonder Wand, but I just like 2. Because sometimes it can get cloggy, but technically you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 targets for your double Wonder Wand plays, because you run 2 Wonder Wand, and Wonder Wand can also beef up Lord of D. So with 5,000 attack, this becomes a 17,000 attacker that can protect your dragons, which is nice. So this guy can get bigger and be more of a useful card. So I love that, and I've actually done that when I know I'm going against like a beatdown type of strategy or something of that nature. So definitely 2 Lord of D. Remember, you can use Wonder Wand with it as well. The last card I run is something I'm just trying out. I'm trying to figure out the 20th card of the deck, but I'm still running Kaiba Man. You don't have to run Kaiba Man, but I love the fact that I get to have Kaiba Man in my deck, and I also got my Kaiba Man fields mat right here. But you can definitely, I definitely say try the Kaiba Man out. I'm thinking about replacing this with maybe something else, maybe a second Shard of Greed or a second Champion's Vigilance, but more playtesting needs to be done. For our spells, we run double Flute of Summoning Dragon, works with your Lord of D to spam the field with big dragons. You guys know how this works. Wonder Wand we talked about earlier. Wonder Wand's going to work with your different things, with your spellcasters, pop, draw 2, search, and then also gives them attack bonus points if you need to. But you can try this as a 3 of, but I prefer 2. 2 Stampian Destruction. You have a dragon on the field, you destroy a spell or trap, and your opponent takes 500 damage. Pretty good. There's Wing Beat of Giant Dragon, but I don't like that. I don't think that's even speed duels right now. Forgive me if I'm wrong. But definitely, I like this card as a 2 of. It's pretty much your MST for the deck. There are other cards out there, but I like this. Then I run 1 Champion's Vigilance. This does take a little bit of setup. A lot of people run this as a 2 or 3 of. You can definitely try it as a 2 of. I find 3 of is a little bit too cloggy, because you have to. It's only going to be live if you have your Blue Eyes or Tyrant Dragons on the field. Mainly your Blue Eyes. So you definitely want to be careful with it. So I only like it as a 1 of. The other 1 of card I run too is 1 Shard of Greed. A lot of people were like running this as a 2 of. But the fact of the matter is, this deck can OTK. Like, yeah, I can put so much damage in just end duels like that. And Shard of Greed is a little bit slow. And I know in speed duels, things are slower than modern Yu-Gi-Oh! But I only like the 1 Shard of Greed because, yes, I get to draw 2 cards, but it's going to take 3 turns to draw 2 cards. You get where I'm coming from? So this is a good card, but only if you're in that situation where this is going to be good. Like, you're stalling out or anything. So you can run multiple of it if you want to. I only like 2 of this card in the deck. I only like 1 of it in the deck. You could try 2 though if you want to, but I like 1 Shard of Greed. Next up, 2 Kunai with Chain. Now there's multiple reasons why I run this as a 2 of. So like I said, this deck here is probably one of the more competitive decks out of all the other speed duel decks at the moment, and Kunai with Chains is very helpful for that reason. So say your opponent has a Blue Eyes White Dragon on field, right? Okay. Now, I don't want to crash my Blue Eyes White Dragon into your Blue Eyes White Dragon. Or if they have double Blue Eyes White Dragon, I don't want to, you know, that's a pain in the butt to get around. But Kunai with Chains helps you out Blue Eyes White Dragon plays. So follow me here for a second. So if I activate Kunai with Chains, I get to put one of their Blue Eyes White Dragons in defense mode. Okay? Okay, 25 attack, I can get over that now. And then the other Blue Eyes White Dragon, okay? So say I have my own Blue Eyes White Dragon on the field over here, okay? My opponent's. I activate Kunai with Chains, put one in defense, my Blue Eyes becomes 35,000 attack, so now what I can do is I can run over this Blue Eyes, okay? And now I can have another monster if I need to run over this one, like Tyrant Dragon or my other Blue Eyes. So this card helps counteract Dragon Call in the fact that it helps you crack their board in that sense of the nature. And I like that card over Champion's Vigilance. So this is a card that I run because it helps me against the meta, which is I run into a lot of Dragon Call decks, and this helps me out Blue Eyes White Dragon easier with my own Blue Eyes, if that makes sense. It helps me use my Blue Eyes to out my opponent's Blue Eyes without losing my own Blue Eyes to crashing into them. So that is my deck profile. I know I took 10 minutes on it, but like I said, a lot of people right now, like, they disc speed duels, and I understand why. Like, it's in its infancy and everything. But when you start breaking it down into a competitive mindset and a competitive thing, it's actually pretty competitive. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys next time. And go Blue Eyes White Dragon.